This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Rachel Consola standing by. We'll take caller 9-844-999. Ola, you'll play Profile this in minutes. And we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. First, quick check into Mike Hawk for some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, there's a new job opening at Netflix for a, quote, editorial analyst. And the job description basically sounds like you'd just be binge-watching Netflix all day.
Shouldn't they just pay everyone? Like, basically, if you have Netflix, they should just give you money since everyone I know binge watches everything on Netflix.
Right.
Like, I don't know that I watch any show week to week. If it's on Netflix, typically within 2 nights I've watched the season, right?
Okay.
Like, I love Stranger Things, and it's like, it's going to be, 8 or 9 episodes this season. I did not realize, so I thought it'd be week after week. So I click on there, and all 8 were there, and in one night, I enjoyed all of my Stranger Things. The problem
I try to do it within a
done.
week or two. Like, every night I'll watch an episode, and that way, I have something to look forward to.
I don't have that kind of willpower, man.
Okay, all right.
They gave me a cliffhanger, bro. I'm like, I need to know what happens.
Yeah.
Don't mind if I do start episode 2.
Mm-hmm. Somebody's proposal photos are going viral because he made a huge sign on the side of a hill that said, quote, "Marry me." And the girl's dad stood off in the distance with his own sign that said, "Say no!"
Awesome. You know why? Because Dad's paying for that crap.
That's right. He was just joking.
Yeah, I was like, hey,
he's joking.
I'm going to throw a party, and that guy's paying for it.
Hell yeah.
Can you imagine doing that in any other scenario? I'm throwing the biggest, dopest ass party ever. But people are eating salmon, chicken, and see that guy over there? He's going to pay for the whole thing.
And it's not even just that. I'm going to throw a party. This guy's going to pay for it. Guess what? And I'm going to F his daughter that night.
Oh, no.
After he pays for my party.
He's paying for the whole thing.
I am going to plow his daughter like freshly fallen snow.
And then, in 2 years, I'm dropping grandkids off because I'm going to Whistler for the weekend and down to L.A.
Right. That is an SE deal.
It really is, man. It's just like, you son of a...
Don't you both have daughters coming up?
Yeah, that's why we think it's an SE deal.
I know what's going to happen here. It's a bunch of crap.
That's why I don't tell her to stop farting. I just know, look, if you keep this, no guy's going to want to marry. Just keep doing what you're doing, baby.
Yeah, that's it.
Pick your nose.
What is the best city to be in if you're aggressively trying to pay off student loans?
Best city?
Somewhere in the Cayman Islands.
A new study has found the top 5.
What do you mean as far as living cheap so you can pay them off?
It's got to be. Just where you make enough extra income.
Live in a real crappy place.
Pretty much.
So you can pay off a defensive coordinator's annual salary.
Right.
Okay, all right. Thank you, college. Great model.
Yeah.
Great model for the kids.
Yes. A midwife in the UK recently helped deliver a woman's baby, then revealed she had an affair with the woman's husband.
Oh, funny thing about this baby.
Baby.
Right?
Jesus.
Oh, you married to James? Yeah, me and James been doing the nasty.
In fact, while you were sitting here in labor pains...
He did that thing, that live long and prosper thing with his forefinger.
Oh, no.
Called it the Vulcan death grip.
A woman in India was having stomach pains recently. Turned out she had 2,350 gallstones.
Whoa.
Damn.
That's not passing through.
No. Apparently it's not even the record, though.
Oh, lucky. I would be pissed.
You know what I would do?
If you told me that, and it's and I didn't break a record, then it sucks.
Right?
But if she owns a little, like a store or whatever, she could put them all in a jar, and then if you guessed how many stones were in there, you wouldn't stick a gum or something.
Easter's coming up.
Right, exactly.
I don't have jelly beans, but I have gallstones.
Guess how many? And you get a free sugar daddy.
Yeah, apparently back in 87, there was an 85-year-old woman that had over 23,000 of them removed.
Does she sound like a maraca?
Right?
I mean, my God.
Walking sounded like a rain stick.
Bag of marbles in your gut. A British soccer player recently had his new $350,000 Ferrari delivered, but wasn't home. So he asked his brother-in-law to sign for it, which was probably the worst mistake anybody could make.
I would never do that.
Then the brother-in-law took it out for a joyride because it's his brother-in-law.
Because he was there and the car showed up.
Brother-in-law.
He wrapped it around a tree and caused about $130,000 worth of damage.
That's just going to be so awkward.
He's black, and he's a cop.
Brother-in-law.
Really?
Sunday
Are we
nights
making a
and
spin-off?
Brother-in-law.
He's black and has a gun.
He was held down by the man, now he's one of them. Brother-in-law.
on TBS.
Tyler Perry's brother-in-law.
Right after the NBA doubleheader.
Starring Hoagie Day. I'm Hoagie Day.
Brother-in-law.
It needs to be a real show, man. I'm telling you.
We're going to write it.
Over 99% of people. No, we're not.
Yeah, we are. Absolutely.
We got story arcs, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's going to be like the next Lost. People are going to be gripped. They're going to want to binge watch our show.
Brother-in-law.
Over 99% of people.
It's like Beverly Hills Cop. No Judge Reinhold.
Because he's busy.
Wearing chains and putting people behind bars.
Brother-in-law. He gets to the roots of your problem.
But first,
that'd be the tagline.
But first he's going to stop for some lake trout.
See, Mike, you already hooked. You're going to watch the show.
You don't even know what lake trout is, do you?
No.
Nobody that
I don't think anybody
knows.
knows. It's some kind of fried fish, but we haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
It's probably cod.
If you're in Baltimore, you can get lake trout anywhere.
My guess
but
is cod.
We didn't get it in the lake. It ain't trout.
We're not sure what it is. It's probably like Vandecamp's frozen fish thing.
Right.
It's going to become a thing, and I'm going to get so mad.
Yeah.
Over 99% of people say that drivers using their cell phones are a threat to their safety,
No
according to a
kidding.
survey.
I think they're
Hey,
a
guess
threat
what?
to everybody.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
But the number of people who admitted using their phone while they're driving is still up 46% since 2013.
Oh, I know smoking's dangerous. I smoke. I mean, it's like, I understand, man. I guess this is dangerous, and I do it.
It's one of those where it's never going to happen to me. It's going to happen to everybody else.
Keep playing those odds.
Right. You know.
I'll tell you what.
I don't get into accidents. They get into accidents.
I know, but man, if you're on two wheels, it's gotten bad. That's the problem. Not that it always hasn't been dangerous, but now
I thought you meant like your car is up on two wheels.
No, nobody's paying attention. Like if you're on a two-wheeled vehicle here, times have changed that way.
Well, how do you think unicyclists feel?
I don't know how that guy's doing either.
A new study at the University of Kansas found it takes 50 hours of hanging out to become friends with someone instead of just acquaintances. It takes 90 hours to become real friends and at least 200 hours to become close friends.
How long before we have sex?
That's not saying 200 hours. It's a lot of work you got to put in.
Yeah,
You could just marry him and have him pay for it.
That's a study. The university paid to have this study done.
Yes, they did, and
Damn
that's
it.
why you're paying back those student loans living in a
Exactly.
crappy town because that's
For this garbage.
So the defensive coordinator can get paid $1 million a year.
Scientists have finally proven why we can crack our knuckles, yet everybody already knows what it is.
They were right.
The bubbles,
They
right.
speculated that there was gas bubbles in your joints.
And that's exactly what it is.
That's not what my
exactly
gas
what it
bubbles
is.
are.
There are
And,
microscopic bubbles that form when we move our joints, so when we pop a bunch of them at once, it makes a cracking
And you're,
sound.
not getting
bubble wrap.
and you're not getting arthritis either.
Right.
That was the other thing they figured out.
Right.
So all that was a lie.
A new study figured out the quickest way to get over your embarrassment when you pass gas in public.
If you're like me, don't feel bad about it in the first place.
Apparently, you put yourself in other people's shoes and think about how much empathy they have towards you in this humiliating situation.
That's a lie.
That's
a lie.
exactly what I
Because
thought.
when you fart in front of me and I know it
Who cares?
embarrasses you, I love that you're mortified. That's
Okay.
what makes it funny.
Thrill,
it's
when I
not
wa-
funny if people aren't embarrassed.
When you walked into that elevator and you smelled my fart, did
Yeah.
you go, oh, he probably feels embarrassed for having put me in this cloud of his gas?
Mike, it was more like this. I felt like you were a young protege of mine, but also it sucked.
Right.
More than anything.
You didn't
'cause
like it at all.
Right. But like if you farted accidentally in front of people, the reason I would laugh at you is not because, oh boy. It's not because I feel bad for you. I'm laughing because I love the fact that you're humiliated, right?
Right.
It's a fart.
Exactly. A woman in Wisconsin was so bothered by what was put in her drive-thru order that she attacked a McDonald's employee.
Yes.
I'll tell you all about it 1 hour from now.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are on the way 1 hour from now, but first the game is...
The Men's Room presents Profile
And
This.
Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Elmer. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hey, how's it going?
White.
Hola. All right, Elmer, you understand how this here game is played?
I have heard this game before.
Okay. Well, here is your story. There's a 37-year-old woman in Montville, Connecticut, and she worked at a Kohl's department store as their shoplifting prevention supervisor. But she was arrested a few months ago, you guessed it, for shoplifting. Turns out she stole 135 different things between March of 2016 and last December. and then she'd return them for cash, again, at the Kohl's where she worked. But every time she was returning the stolen stuff, somehow the store's surveillance cameras, they had a glitch. What a coincidence. So she wound up stealing more than $55,000 worth of stuff from the store. Her managers eventually figured it out. She was in court on Monday and pleaded not guilty to first-degree larceny. Do you believe that this woman is black, white, Mexi, or Asian?
Nothing really to go on here.
I think in Connecticut.
It is in Connecticut, yes.
In Connecticut. Well,
Only thing I know about Connecticut is what, ESPN maybe? Or
ESPN, right.
Rich
So it
people
depends
that
where you
live
are.
in New York,
Right.
who
There's the
commute from there.
the DC or the New York City kind of suburb Connecticut,
Right.
and then the rest of it. And I'm not sure where this town is.
I don't. Yeah. Coles.
Kohl's.
Loss
Kohl's
prevention.
sounds
tool.
pretty white. Kohl's
Ah.
does sound pretty white, so I think I'm gonna go white.
White final answer.
Final
Okay.
answer.
All right.
Yeah, when I hear the word coal, I always think of something white.
I do too.
Don't you feel like Kohl should sell grills? Like that should
the
be
beautiful coal has been cleaned at that
Yeah,
point. They
well-
take it out and then they wash the beautiful coal.
Yes, that is
We're
what
going
we've been led to
clean it,
understand.
And then, yes, Mingo County, you'll get your jobs eventually.
Clean coal,
Yeah.
as we understand, as it was explained to us, is when you mine coal,
And then you wash the
And you
beautiful
wash
coal,
it.
And you clean it.
right? And then it's good to go.
All right, Elmer, we're going to find out if she was black, white, Mexican, or Asian next.
Oh crap!
Next. Next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Profile this takes us to Connecticut and the head of loss prevention at a Kohl's store up there. And she was so good at loss prevention that, she was the biggest thief in the house. $55,000 in merchandise she stole and returned and got the cash before she got busted.
Yeah, that's right. And we asked you, did you believe that this woman was black, white, Mexican, or Asian? You guessed white. I'm going to be honest with you, Elmer. I don't know. This is one of those stories
What?
where I can't find a picture of I have put her name through Google. I have done one of those searches for records. There's not a picture of this woman.
there's not a lot to go
anywhere.
on in the
I
story.
don't have an answer for you. I know that makes me a D-bag. I decided just to suffer with you today.
Okay.
So I have her story.
a
all right?
cliffhanger.
A cliffhanger. I
All
have
right.
her name.
What an
dude.
ass you
I
are.
have tried every kind of filter. I've done everything I can. There's not.
Okay.
The story is covered in like 400 different papers, different websites. Not one of them. Not a single one of them offers her
We'll
picture.
update you
Uh-huh.
when we find out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
All right, now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Still can't do it. Damn it. Well, gentlemen, it's good news for me and good news for some. We are headlong into the baseball season.
We are into the baseball season.
I'm stoked.
Yeah.
I attended the opening day of my very own Mariners. It was actually a good day for most of us, I believe. Thrill, I think your Orioles had a good
Yeah,
opening
they
day.
had a walk-off
In the
to win
11th.
their game. Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was a record night over at Safeco Field. 47,000 people. It was a fun night.
Padres, sorry, man. So close.
was a good game.
So
close.
None of the games were high scoring.
Yeah, but it
so
was
there's that
exciting in the
much,
ninth
right?
inning. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the very first game of the 2018 season was the Chicago Cubs over in Miami against the Marlins, right? So something that hasn't been done, however long it was, 32 years, I think it was. Nobody has ever hit a home run for the first pitch in the last 32 years.
Okay.
So somebody by the name of, what is his name here? Michael Cerami, I believe, he tweeted out, if Ian Happ leads off today's game with a home run, I will jump into Lake Michigan. Well, here's the call from the very first pitch of the very first game of the 2018 season.
Yeah, Ian Happ hit 7 home runs in spring training, 5 of them leading off the game. I expect him to take a pretty healthy cut here if he gets a juicy-looking first pitch fastball from Urania.
Urania to Happ, and a drive to right.
Go, baby!
What were you saying, JD?
Yes, sir!
Good! Oh, baby!
Oh, my! That's unbelievable.
The season has begun.
What a great way to start the season.
Tattooed
Seriously,
it.
that's awesome.
Well, the problem is they're in Miami.
Well, good.
If that happened to me, if I went over into Safeco and the Indians just crushed it,
so
well,
what? Yeah, it is what it is.
here comes the season.
Right. Well, you hope it doesn't end that way. I think the Marlins came back to win, right?
No.
They did not. They lost the game.
The Miami Marlins lost 8-4.
Oh, boy, that's not good either.
They started
That's
the week
terrible.
and finished the week.
That's right.
You
Okay.
just know you're not going to have a good day in that moment.
And the thing is that what makes it worse is that you heard the crowd going nuts in that stadium.
In Florida.
It was absolutely loaded with Cubs fans.
Of course it is.
And I've
Because
experienced
they live
that.
in Florida.
Right.
It's the winter still.
And
It's a terrible
what's
feeling.
sad?
Come on, man.
People in Miami do not go to their baseball games.
No, because they're not from Miami.
Right.
Yeah. I still remember.
They're not
watching-
from Florida. No one from Florida. There's nobody from Florida.
Right.
I mean, there's a few people, but they live in like St. Augustine and like weird parts, like where Tom Petty lived.
Right.
You know, like nowhere near the water.
No.
In the middle, like where only those people would live.
But it's a terrible feeling. I still remember watching the game against like the Blue Jays on TV. The Blue Jays hit a home run and everybody goes nuts. Like, no, they're in Seattle.
Yeah.
Enemy territory.
You know what though? There are actually a lot of fans just based on spring training. So if you happen to live in Bradenton, you're
Right, the teams come down to see all the time.
You might just be a Pirates fan. If you live in Dunedin, you might be a Blue Jays fan. If you
Gotcha.
based on the minor league team and what the economy holds, it's
Sure.
you know,
I get
it's been
you.
there for 40, 50 years.
Well, now because of that, Michael Cerami had to either put up or shut up. So he posted this video later on that day.
My name is Michael Cerami from BleacherNation.com, and before today's Cubs game, I made a bet that I'd jump into Lake Michigan if Ian Happ hit a leadoff home run. That's exactly what he did, and I'm a man of my word. So here goes nothing.
I can't believe you didn't cuss.
Right?
That would have been the only thing out of my mouth. Like,
Yeah.
F-bomb!
Is
I
Lake
hate cold
Michigan
water.
that cold?
Well, it's freaking, end of March.
It's true.
I
But
mean,
he's from
it's
Chicago.
April,
I mean, they're
whatever.
all too tough.
Yeah,
But they
still,
don't jump in
it's
the water.
Chicago,
There
man.
could be 12 feet of snow and still not that bad.
But not in the water.
It's Lake Michigan, man. It's cold right now. I mean, yeah, in July, maybe some parts warm up.
So
it's cold.
if you want to see that video, it's up at the Men's Room Facebook page. Now, to be completely honest, guys, when it comes to watching TV, I'm rather boring. If I'm not watching sports, I'm either watching Impractical Jokers with my girlfriend. It's a fantastic show. I highly recommend it. They just kicked off their sixth season, I believe, or season 7. Or I'm watching basically TV to fall asleep.
So you watch really boring television.
Yeah, not exactly. There is a criteria to watching TV to fall asleep to.
Put it on C-SPAN
Because
and let it work its magic.
The thing is that it has to be just boring enough to where you don't care what happens, but entertaining enough to where it's not an annoyance in the background.
Okay.
You know, I started out watching Futurama, Family Guy, American Dad, really the cartoon comedies, the adult comedies. I moved on to The Office, and that one's actually gotten interesting enough to where I could fall asleep to it, and then I'll get up the next morning and watch the episodes that I missed.
Sure.
And it's a fascinating show. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's fresh on Netflix. It came over from England. Brand new show on Netflix called The Office. Check it out. It's awesome.
Okay.
I'm on season 5.
Very excited. Heard of it. Mm-hmm. Well, look, if you haven't seen it, it's new to you.
Right.
That's one thing. Like,
and if you have, it's still funny.
Right. I was trying to explain to my kid we were going to watch this old timey movie, like a black and white movie, a streetcar named Desire.
Okay.
And she's a theater kid, so I'm like, you know what, man, you're probably really going to like this movie. He's like, Dad,
have you seen it?
Yeah.
You have seen it?
Yeah. And I'm like, you want to watch this Marlon Brando? You know, like you want to watch this thing? And she's like, not really. I'm like, why? Like, it's old. I'm like, well, it's not. I mean, yes, it is old, but it's still new if you haven't seen it. It's like, and I'm trying to explain this philosophy to her with music. And like, why you buy records? I'm like, well, because I haven't heard it before, so it doesn't matter when it came out.
I do that with food with my kids.
I haven't digested it. Yeah, this cheese stick is 5
I
years
ate it
old.
last week. Well, it's new to you.
Let it go.
It's new to you.
Right. Don't get sick.
Right.
Eat around the green.
What's weird about The Office is it's one of those shows. Robin is actually one of the people that turned me onto it as well. She says it's one of those shows that you have to muscle through a few episodes, and I'm amazed that shows like that actually survive.
Well,
They've got to have they've got to have
They
just
don't now.
killer cliffhangers to get people to come back. If you actually have to muscle through the first season of the show,
Right.
and then now nobody can put it down, myself included. I've been watched 5 seasons already.
Nice. Nobody watched Seinfeld the first season. Obviously,
It was on Friday night at 10.
Nobody watched Cheers in its first season. It went on to do great. Hell, it inspired Frasier, which went on. So, I mean, back in the day, you just basically, like, you had a season to prove yourself. Not like, well, the first episode didn't do well, and you don't see that show again.
If you did okay and they saw a little bright light there, they give you another year.
Right.
Sure. Yeah, if there's some embers burning there, they'll give you another shot. So, Miles, you know how I like a top 10 list. So I decided what could possibly be the 10 best shows to watch while falling asleep. And I'm actually going to shake this thing up. I'm not even going to give you the 10 in order.
10. Number 10.
I say start with 7.
Yeah, let's start with 7. Let's go down to
Christ
7.
almighty, man.
I'm going to make you work on that.
Why do you gotta do everything like
ladies,
everyone else?
ladies, 1, 2, and 2, 7, 3, 2, 1.
7. Number 7.
There we go.
Dude, they did it well. They're union. It's a union game. They're good.
The Blacklist.
The Blacklist.
Has anybody here watched The
Is that
Blacklist?
like brother-in-law?
No.
Yeah, baby, I'm going to the store. What you need?
Okay,
That
I
is,
got it.
the
Tide
Blacklist.
Pods.
James Spader plays this.
Yeah. Okay, I've seen the commercials. I've never seen an
James
episode.
Spader plays the same character he always plays.
James Spader.
Creepy James Spader.
Because he
But
can't
he's
not be.
fantastic.
James
at
Spader,
it.
even James Spader's kids don't want to be around James Spader for fear that he'll do something creepy.
It's a great show, though. I love The Blacklist, even though I've watched only the first season.
God,
I
you
love The
couldn't- you
Blacklist.
couldn't get creepier than James Spader.
Even
Sure you
probably
could.
not.
Yes,
Dang,
you
he was-
can. Anthony Hopkins, your go.
Okay.
You can't
All right.
out-creep Anthony
All right.
Hopkins.
I don't know, man. Spader's up
It's
there.
comparable, man.
Spader's
I'm
weird.
with Miles on this one.
I like
Spader
James
plays a-
Spader. For a while there.
What
it was
about
just-
Malkovich?
For a while there, before he kind of came back to television.
Malkovich is just crazy. He's not creepy.
Okay.
Spader
yeah.
for about 10, 15 years was doing nothing but basically softcore porn.
Right.
Like movie-wise. Like just weird movies, but it was always like Spader's doing softcore.
You know what one of his bigger moments was, man? Believe it or not, coming back on The Office.
All right. See, it all ties in.
It was very strange. It seemed like an odd choice, but his character made sense.
Okay.
4. Number 4.
Charlie Rose.
Really? I mean,
It says fans
yeah.
of CBS this morning wake
Yeah.
up with Rose's classic brand of journalism, but his other is perfect for helping you get to sleep.
I would agree with that.
Really?
It's just two people sitting at a table.
It's just his voice.
He's a great interviewer. It's just people aren't at that stage of the game where they're going to watch like a Tom Snyder anymore. It's just not the type of television that people can digest. It's two people seriously sitting down having an intelligent conversation. That normally doesn't fly.
it clearly is not the norm.
10. Number 10.
You're going to make me work. Late Night with Seth Meyers.
Oh, it's a great show.
I'm amazed that people are falling asleep to this show. He's funny.
It's 12:30
He
at
starts
night.
at 12:30, Mike.
Okay,
That's all it
that's
is.
not fair, though. That's not a show to fall asleep to. That's a show that you do fall asleep to because you're too tired.
You try to stay up for it.
I mean, back in the day, wouldn't it just been Saturday Night Live then? I mean,
well, that's one night a week. This is 5.
Yeah, true enough.
You know, okay.
I still need to watch a full episode because I can never stay up late enough.
Right.
Number 2.
Number 2, Life.
Life.
It's that BBC nature show.
Oh, yeah,
I
man.
love and to be honest, that to me is perfect because there's nothing to miss other than the fact that you just missed some neat stuff over the time. But you wake up and there's no storyline to follow.
Right.
You're just looking at neat animals and awesome nature.
Here's an antelope. There's the lions.
They've actually,
we know how this
Like the
ends.
beautiful gorillas.
They actually just released Planet Earth 2, I believe is what it is.
Have you
on
checked
Netflix.
out any of that?
Oh yeah, 2.
Is it good?
2 or 3 episodes. Fantastic.
great.
It's just like the
Okay.
first
Yeah,
one.
I love the
It's
first
Life, man. These guys do an excellent job at
And
this.
I think the people that film Life probably have more slow motion footage of monkeys jumping from branches than any other production.
They got
house.
the corner on it.
I mean, every
Right.
time they
If
show a
you need
preview,
one.
at some point there is a monkey jumping slow motion from one branch.
I think
to
that's what
another.
they happen when you go to their website. Like, you need a video of a monkey
Of a
jumping
monkey?
from branch. We got that. We got it.
One of my-
$9.99.
One of my favorite scenes, they were falling around this sloth, and he's right next to this really big old river, and he's climbing around a tree, and as he's up there, he hears the mating call of another sloth that's all the way across the river.
Hey, good looking.
Right.
Can you pick up
And
the sloth and help it move along? I mean,
I
is
don't think that he would, but
do you
anyway.
think he'd be cool with that? Like, you pick him up, like, dude, I got
To
you.
get some butt, yeah.
Okay.
So the guy says he is now faced with a difficult decision now that he is faced with such a danger in front of him. The next view, he's just swimming in that water.
Yeah,
Doesn't look
difficult,
like-
my ass, brother.
Does it not look like you could approach the sloth?
You probably could.
But that would not be good, right? It would eat your
That's
face
not
off or
nature.
something weird.
No, I don't think they would, but the
Lazy
fact
nature.
that I don't
All right.
know, I wouldn't do it. By the way, did this say how long it takes for sloths to fornicate?
Number 7.
Because everything, everything they do
It's
is
tantric.
super
It's
slow.
tantric. He's a tantric master.
Oh, the original Sting.
yeah, he is.
Miles, we've already done 7.
Oh, sorry. What?
Hey, you're an idiot.
8. Number 8.
Anthony Bourdain, Parts Unknown.
Oh, that part is known.
That part, yeah.
That's
To be
it.
honest, I have no idea what the show is about.
That's where he goes around to different places and he tries different food. And some of it, as you know, is he is a chef. Mm-hmm. So as far as regional delicacies that other people wouldn't really find to be delicacies, which is it's more about conversation, it's more about food, it's more about politics. It's just he's going to go to some place and check it all out and
Eat their food and talk.
eat their food and talk to them.
You really find that...
I do not. But I'm not a big
but again-
food watching guy.
No.
This is talking about it again, is that that just seems too boring to me.
Well, then you're going to
I'd
fall
be so
asleep to it.
well. It's too much noise in the background.
Maybe
Now
it's too much
just
noise. It's not like he's yelling.
I need something
I'm
that I can-
Anthony Bourdain! I mean, it's a normal conversational show.
I need something that while I am conscious, I can focus on to just quiet down the voices in the back of my head. If there's just another annoying...
What are they saying?
They're saying a lot of very mean things about me, and they're stressing me out, man. Okay.
Number 5.
House Hunters.
House Hunters.
I could get behind this one to fall asleep to.
It's all right.
You wake up, you
Are they
watch
flipping
it.
the house or are they buying the house? I'm
No,
not sure.
these guys
Buying.
are buying the house.
So all they do is just every week they live in a different house?
Well, no,
Yeah,
it's not
they're
the same
looking at
people.
houses.
It's not the same people. I think
Oh,
it's different
so it's a
people all the
different
time.
couple all the
That's
time.
right. This is one where it's like, do you want this one over here?
So
Do
they
you want
actually
this one over here?
end up buying the house and living in it.
Well, they choose a house, yes.
Okay, good.
But it's
I believe
annoying
that's the
because
show.
these are people, like, they'll look at a house and be like, I don't like the paint color. I'm like, you can go to Home Depot for $20. Solve your problem, dumbass.
Yeah,
I think I flipped through one of those. I was like, House Hunters, St. Thomas. And I'm like, oh,
That's
yeah.
international.
Right. Oh, yeah. Like,
Then
oh,
you
yeah.
just sit there and get
Here I
pissed.
am on this island, just buying my second home. Okay.
It says this reality show follows a home buyer as they look at 3 properties and they make a fairly predictable choice.
Fairly predictable.
Yeah, it's the one that doesn't have the rats.
Right.
Number 2.
Miles, we already did 2.
What number are we on?
Go to
now?
1.
Number 1.
You should pay attention.
And it's time.
Number 1.
The Golden Girls.
Yeah, I don't watch that.
It's just another sitcom. I mean, I could fall asleep to Friends. I could fall asleep to
Frasier.
I'm sure it's
Frasier.
funny. I just haven't
Cheers.
seen it.
Do you fall asleep with the TV on?
My iPad. What's nice about the iPad is I can turn Netflix on, and then if I don't touch it for 3 episodes or 2.5 hours or something like that, then it puts up that little sign that says, "Are you still there?" That way, that I don't miss a whole lot.
My penis
So then-
does the same thing.
All right,
You
yeah.
haven't touched me in a while. That's unusual.
It actually sends him a text message.
You know I'm still here. This is unusual for
Who
you.
is this? Oh.
That's my penis.
Let's go to number 6.
It's right back. I lost my number on this one. I lost my phone. It's supposed to be a new number.
Number 6.
Another cooking show, Good Eats.
Don't know it.
It's got to be the same principle.
I'm
You just
sure.
follow somebody around as they, or they're cooking it.
Why don't they have bad eats? Make people feel horrible. God damn, how much you charge for this?
That's got to be a show somewhere.
This is
just the
terrible.
Craziest foods out on
Crinkle
the
cut
planet.
fries.
Del Monte ketchup.
Oh, man, where am I?
Oh, there was actually a show that Ricky Gervais made where he sent one of his interns or something like that.
Idiot Abroad or whatever.
That's
Something
the
like
one,
that.
Idiot Abroad, and they sent him over to Singapore and had him eat just the nastiest food.
I'm in.
And he was having a terrible, like, he doesn't like fish or anything like
He
that.
don't like anything.
I don't remember what it was, but he was having a hard time eating it, and it was like not chicken placenta. It was
Chicken placenta.
It was something to that effect.
That does not sound
Wouldn't
good.
that just be egg
We
yolk?
have chicken
Right.
cordon bleu.
I forget what it was.
We have chicken
Whoa.
marsala. We have chicken placenta.
Mike, I'm sorry to cut in. We do have a rather large news update that I
Uh-oh.
do feel compelled that I must share.
This is usually my field. I'm out of my element here.
Well, this is unexpected. Thank you, Robin Fox, for doing the homework on this. We played Profile this earlier.
Oh, yeah.
It involved the Kohl's shoplifting prevention supervisor.
Elmer,
my
our
goodness.
contestant, he guessed white.
And you know what? I agreed with him. I thought she was white, too. The spin on this particular game is I honestly could not find a picture of her. Thank you, Robin. She is, in fact, black.
Oh, my goodness.
We have the picture, yeah.
Robin.
All right.
Well done.
Elmer, you lost.
Elmer, you were wrong.
Keep the dove in the cage.
Yeah.
Number 3, Miles.
Number 3 already? I thought we just did that.
Number 3.
Chef's Table.
All these food shows.
Right?
Yeah, what is Chef's Table?
I think it's
is
because-
a chef 12-course meal and you watch all that happen?
It's a Netflix doc series. It takes up into the hearts of the world's greatest chefs.
Okay.
The cinematography is lush, and the music is a playlist of classical favorites. Basically, this is the best late night snack you've ever had. You can give your.
I don't
tired
want to
head.
watch other people
I
eat
don't
food.
want to watch that, right?
But the thing is that if you wake up, it's like waking
what
up to
all
that
right.
to the Magic Bullet infomercial. It's like that looks really good.
You know what? I will. Steve Reichlin, who we've had on the show before, the barbecue
guy, yeah.
He does shows on PBS where it's like it used to be Barbecue U, and now it's Primal Grill or whatever the hell it is. Sometimes I'll get sucked into that, and I'll watch him take a half of cow and put it on the grill, and
Yeah, but it's something you plan on making.
Yeah.
There's a difference. You watch him because you make the attempt to recreate what he's done. But a lot of these shows, like, they make whatever they make. I'm sure it's delicious, but I'm like, no one's ever going to make that, man.
Okay.
We have made it to the very final one, Miles.
Which is number what?
We are number 9, and I absolutely want to get behind the show, and I saved the best for last.
Number 9.
Monterey Bay Aquarium's live jelly cam.
Oh, wow.
just jellyfish.
It's basically an aquarium of jellyfish.
People watch the Yule log.
I'm going to turn that one on tonight, and I'll be great.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We got your headlines coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Woman goes on a rage in Wisconsin McDonald's saying, "What the F is this? I didn't order no sausage biscuit." A New Jersey woman loses 2-year-old in car that was towed and now only gets the occasional weekend visit. California coffee cups now must come with a label on the joys of cancer. Former Offspring drummer turned OBGYN saves a juror who used to be a dancer. And a teacher lets a student borrow a knife for a prop in school and is forced to resign. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my call.
All right, our top story in Wisconsin. A woman going through a McDonald's drive-thru was so incensed about a screwed-up order that she felt justified to assault a couple employees.
Of course.
She received her breakfast in the drive-thru and checked the order to find a sausage biscuit inside. She shouted, quote, "What the F is this? I didn't order no sausage biscuit."
And even if you didn't, a sausage biscuit is still pretty tasty.
It's not the worst thing to get, man.
Why are you that mad?
All right.
And then threw the bag at the employee before storming into the restaurant and shoving an employee to the ground. She has been hit with a disorderly conduct charge.
Again, it's not like McDonald's pays their employees $80 an hour.
Right.
I mean, just keep your expectations where they should be.
Around the world in New Jersey, a woman parked illegally to run into a bank real quick before it closed. When she finished her quick in and out, she came out to find that her car was missing. She panicked and called police to find that it had, in fact, been towed. What the woman was more concerned about was the fact that she had left her 2-year-old in the car for this quick stop.
I think that's ridiculous.
Right?
She was in there for literally 2 minutes. The kid was sleeping in the back seat. She locked the car. The kid was fine. She ran in real quick. She came back out. Her car was gone. Now she lost the ability to raise her child. They took the kid away.
They released it to family members, it says.
Right, but not to her.
Miles, do you truly believe that she was in there for 2 minutes? They towed her car and she didn't know where it went. She was in there long enough for them to see the car was parked illegally, call the tow truck, hook the thing up, and drive away with it.
She obviously messed up by parking the car illegally.
Right.
I think it had to be obviously circumstantially very quick. I don't think she's in there like the bank is closing.
Right.
So they're not in there just having a howdy-doody conversation, man. It's like, we got to leave. You got to get out of here, do the transaction, leave, right? Maybe 5 minutes.
You can still park it legally.
The kid was still asleep when they went to get the kid out of the car at the impound lot.
Right. That's it for your headlines with that. Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the random question. Your guess is as good as mine and the return of the word.
Yes, indeed. It is all true. In the meantime, we be all about this bitch, but we shall return. So until then, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.